Greetings, one and all. Yesterday, EA Sports released the trailer for NHL 18's Franchise Mode. Due to the success of the teaser trailer reaction video I did a few months ago, I figured I would do a reaction video for the mode I am most looking forward to playing in the next iteration of the franchise that comes out on September 15th. I have the trailer up here on the screen now, so let's take a watch.
For the first time since 2000-2001, expansion has made a presence in the NHL. In NHL 18's franchise mode, the new expansion draft feature gives you the ability to expand the league even further and create the 32nd NHL team. Begin by running an authentic expansion draft where you carefully craft your team through the official protection lists. Once you've finalized your roster, use the updated Creation Zone customization tools to build your team arena, design your custom mascot, and even create your own AHL affiliate.
So, the main selling point, as mentioned in previous videos, is of course the ability to take control of the Vegas Golden Knights or make a completely new 32nd NHL team and take part in your very own expansion draft. Create your own arena and establish a new mascot for your franchise. From what has been shown here, it looks very promising, I must admit, although I'm not quite sure why someone would decide to draft Clayton Stoner in the expansion draft from Anaheim. But hey ho. However, the customization options for logos, mascots, etc. look like they won't have anything new added to them compared to the customization from previous games. So that's a big negative point for NHL there. Don't market customization options if there are literally no difference in customization options from previous games. Like, if there isn't any difference and you're just using the same stuff again, don't market it as one of the big selling points, because most of the players will already know that this stuff is in the game already. Lastly, the ability to create your own AHL affiliate is a rather nice touch, but it's something I believe that most players will put a lot of effort into on their very first run through of franchise mode, but will probably end up glossing over it as the weeks roll on, as the customization options, as mentioned previously, are once again limited, and most people don't pay enough attention to their AHL affiliate teams when playing franchise mode in the first place. So I like the idea of creating your own AHL affiliate. I'm just not sure that it's a big enough innovation to really want to bring in new players or satisfy the hardcore fans such as myself. Anyway, let's carry on!
With more cities to choose from, bring your team to your hometown wherever it is around the world.
So, there was a lot of cities that came up very quickly just now, so I have rewatched this section several times to list as many as I could make out. So, the apparent list of expansion cities according to this trailer is as follows: Seattle, Cologne, Budapest, Brooklyn, Munich, Beijing, Liverpool, Madrid, Kamloops, Kyoto, Bern, Copenhagen, Honolulu, Glasgow, Delaware, Frankfurt, Hong Kong, and Stockholm. So some of these places make complete sense in my opinion, but others are crazy choices to expand to. Seattle, Kamloops, Stockholm, Bern and Copenhagen, I all understand. They're quite solid hockey markets. They have rather strong winters full of snow, so I can understand them quite a lot. But Brooklyn, New York doesn't need a third NHL team. EA Sports, like, they're already having problems with the Islanders as it is at the moment, so bringing in a third one may cause a few problems. And then Beijing, Kyoto and Hong Kong? Really? The NHL is really trying to push growth in Asia, aren't they? Jesus Christ, they're trying to shove it down our throats. And then for the UK, Liverpool and Glasgow. God, talk about avoiding the only cities in the UK that are interested in ice hockey, due to probably Elite League ice hockey copyright reasons, I assume. Not the best two cities you could have chosen to represent the UK, but I'm glad that such a small hockey market is getting some love. However, I think Honolulu takes the cake for the most ridiculous place to expand to. Who in Honolulu plays ice hockey? Like, I've been to Honolulu before many a year ago. It's a very beautiful place. And it's all hula skirts and ukuleles though, not skates and hockey pucks. I mean, I'll give EA credit though, they have created a diverse list of cities to try. From the conventional to the very unconventional, to the way out of there, to the very close to other teams. There's a lot of variety there that I assume making your franchise won't have a huge amount of difference, as to where you actually put it. It will just be a different name at the start of the franchise. However, I think it's nice they've given you the variety to be able to pick whatever you want and basically go, okay, I'm going to play in a really sunny place, or I'm going to go right across the globe and play somewhere else, or we're going to go to Seattle and basically sit here again. You know, like, I think it's an interesting idea. I like the fact that they've got such a vast amount of places to expand to, especially sort of going into Europe and Asia and onwards, meaning it's not just America. Of course, it's one of those things that it's America and Canada, the league has always been there, it should stay there. Then you're kind of like, oh, but a town near me is really, really there and I want to play as them, you know? So, I think it's quite nice. It's giving you the ability to stay in America, it's giving you the ability to expand out. So it's kind of appeased both of the different opinions. Carry on!
And of course, you can choose to play as your favorite NHL team and create and submit an authentic protected player list to ensure your best players stay at home.
So the ability to play as an existing NHL team hasn't been completely neglected this year, which is good, as you can take part in the expansion draft on the other side of the coin by creating your own protected player list. Of course, this has already been announced in previous videos and previous news articles, but it's a nice touch that will happen at the beginning of a franchise mode. However, it will be quickly forgotten, as I don't think there's an opportunity for multiple expansions, which is a shame. It's kind of, they're very much pushing this expansion mode this year with the franchise mode. However, it's something you're going to do for about 10 minutes at the start of any franchise mode you make, which is a shame that that's such the big selling point. What I'd really like to see is, perhaps if the league could expand more than 35 teams, say if you're playing a 25-year GM mode, as I usually like to do. I only usually get to between year 6 and 10, especially with last year's one. But say if you want to do a solid year 1 to year 25 franchise mode. Year 1, year 25, go right through the whole way. I'd love it if, say, in year 15 there was another expansion, and you had to make an expansion draft with the players that you had 15 years on. I think that would be quite a nice touch. Maybe the league could expand to a maximum of 35 teams over the 25-year GM mode period. I think that would be a nice touch, and it wouldn't just be, oh, by the way, we've created something that you're going to do for 10 minutes at the start of the mode, and then you're going to completely forget about, and it's not going to be important anymore. You know, it's kind of a slap in the face, really. It's like, look at this new exciting mode we can play, but you're only going to play it for about 5 minutes. Like, really? Come on, give us a bit more. Anyway, carry on!
In addition to the owner goals, player morale, and arena management features included in previous years, the long-requested ability to extend contracts mid-season has been added to NHL 18, meaning you'll need to make critical decisions throughout the entire season.
Finally! Mid-season contract extensions are here, ladies and gentlemen! I have been waiting for this feature for a while, especially when NHL joined the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 generation. I am so glad that this has been added, as it makes life so much easier for a dedicated GM come the off-season. If there's a player that's playing really well during the season and looks like their contract is running out, you can give them a contract during the season so you don't have to worry about it later on. And it means you can give them a contract with a solid length and a hometown discount, most likely. I am interested to see if they still do the 85% of their asking price, whether that will work mid-season. That would really help come the off-season, because then you have like 15% from several different players potentially of money ready to go, which would be brilliant and very helpful in terms of trying to make a better team for you. So I'm very happy with that, and I think it adds another layer of authenticity and makes the experience more accurate to being an actual GM in the league. So I think it's quite good. I think the ability to not be able to extend contracts during the season, we'll go a couple of games down the line and think, wow, that used to be a thing? Like, that was ridiculous. I can't live without that. It's one of those things that it's like, if you're a casual player, you won't really think about it very much, but if you like to play lots of franchise mode like I do, you're so happy for this edition. It's been well wanted, and we finally got it, which is brilliant. And I think it's not a huge addition, as I said to probably casual fans, but I'm so glad that it's been put in, and it's good work, EA. I'm very pleased with you. Bonus points there. Moving on!
You'll also find more diverse player ratings.
More diverse player ratings. Now, this is a very interesting one, and one that I'm not too sure about. To me, this just sounds like they are keeping the top players under the previous rating system, for example, having Alexander Ovechkin at a 92, Nicholas Backstrom at an 89, and all the depth and fringe NHL players are getting a massive downgrade. Which I understand to an extent, as you want the superstars to stand out more, but it kind of devalues the bottom 6 players and the depth players and the AHL players, and it doesn't give them enough credit for the work that they put in every night, more on the physical side or the defensive side of the puck. I personally wasn't too upset with the previous rating system, as players usually grew how I thought they would and how they should. So I don't see the need for the more diverse player ratings. I quite like the ability to have a whole forward line with plus 80 players, or my lowest player being rated 80 overall. That shows how great you are as a GM to be able to create a roster like that and put the time and effort, maybe trade a first pick here to get a second line player there or something like that. Like, like for example, I mean, the Washington Capitals, they don't have the deepest forward core, but looking here, like, half of their players are 80 or above, and half of their players are lower than 80, or 79 and under. For an NHL roster, that just seems ridiculous, having played NHL 17, 16, 15, and so on and so forth. And as I said, I can get a team that has an 80-plus player on every single line, on every single defensive pair, every single goaltending tandem. So why is this the situation that it's like, okay, we're going to massively drop everybody else. You're going to have they have 4 players above 85. How is that going to cut it in the NHL? Like, especially from the games that we've played previously. That would probably be near the bottom of the league if you only had 3 players at 85 or above. And then you've got like 4 players under 76 or 76 and under. That's ridiculous. I'm not sure about this. I don't really like this new diverse player rating. I saw it in the beta as well, and I wasn't too keen on it. Like Rick Nash being down to an 82, for example, as they showed earlier. I mean, he's not a 90 overall, but he's certainly not an 82 overall, if you know what I mean. I don't know. Like, I think the player rating system was fine how it was, but I guess I'm wrong, or they're wrong. Let me know who's wrong. I need to know who's wrong in this scenario. But anyway, moving on.
More NHL-ready talent at the top draft rounds.
More NHL-ready talent at the top of the draft rounds. I like that they have addressed the drafting issue, or they have addressed drafting in the sense that there will be more solid prospects available in earlier rounds of the draft. Too often have I heard from players who actually play this game who have scouted a highly touted player, maybe a top 5 or a top 10, only for him to be a mid-50 overall player, meaning that it will take forever for him to be ready for the NHL, if he's ready for it at all. So I'm glad that they've decided to stockpile some more almost NHL-ready talent in the top rounds. For example, it might take a year or 2 to get them onto the roster. That's fine. I don't mind having to wait a year or 2 if I'm making a draft pick, especially in the later rounds or late first round, second round, third round. That's fine. I'm not expecting every single draft pick to be ready for the NHL as an 85 overall, because judging by the new player system, that won't be the case. However, I think it's good that they have added some more talent up in the upper echelons of prospects in the first few rounds. It's good. We needed it. Otherwise, drafting is pretty rubbish, and you may as well just tank for the first pick, get the first pick, and then not bother about drafting anybody else, because it's like a 1 in a million chance of getting a solid prospect. So I'm quite happy with that. Another good move, EA. I'm very pleased. Moving on.
And for the sharp GMs out there, the ability to find better late round picks.
Better late round picks. Finally, my dedication to scouting won't go in vain in the later rounds. This means that putting the time and effort into scouting players actually now yields rewards, which was a problem in previous iterations of the game, as I've mentioned in several franchise mode videos. Like, now they're actually making it that if you take a lot of time, like I do personally, and make sure you scout every single region, make sure you try and scout all the different positions in every region possible, you might actually get a Joe Pavelski or a Henrik Lundqvist or a Henrik Zetterberg in one of the later rounds. Sure, it's very unlikely that will happen, judging by the statistical chance of it taking place, but it's good. It's good that they've actually addressed this problem and gone, okay, there are players putting a lot of effort into it and only getting 50s overall in the late rounds. Like, good. I'm very pleased with this. There are actually going to be players, or a higher chance of getting players, if you scout them properly, that will actually have an impact on your NHL or be a top AHL player, which is what you want. You don't want to go and scout some 42 rated 18-year-old who's just finished college and he's rubbish and even his parents don't love him. You know, like, you don't want somebody like that. You want a player that can actually contribute in some way, whether it's top line or fringe NHL. If that's a 6th round pick, I'll take it. A guy that can be the healthy scratch, the 13th forward, I'll take it in the 6th round. That's a solid pickup. So I'm quite happy with this. Thank you, EA, once again. You have You have looked at scouting and drafting and you've overhauled it in the sense that you have made it actually worthwhile now, putting the effort into. If you don't put the effort into it, it can come back to bite your ass. That's what we needed in this mode, and I'm glad that it's happening. Carrying on!
Expansion has allowed us to redefine what it means to own a franchise in the NHL. Through deeper development and more customizable options, the decisions are truly in your hands.
The decisions are truly in your hands. Well, I must admit, having addressed some of my key issues with this mode, and adding one of the wish list improvements I had, as well as improving the scouting and the drafting systems, I do feel that the decisions you face as a GM of a franchise in this mode are more in my hands now, as opposed to what the game wants. I don't think this mode has been perfected by any stretch of the imagination, but I like the improvements that EA have made. The expansion draft and stuff is nice, and I'm looking forward to doing it. However, of course, further on into the game, it won't become a problem. But the fact that they have edited scouting and drafting just makes me so happy, and mid-season contract extensions are such a welcome addition. I like these improvements, and hopefully EA Sports will continue to listen to fan feedback and keep giving us what we want, and improve the game according to what we feel is wrong or missing from it. From what I've noticed with this, the franchise mode seems to address more of the player complaints than any other mode, because they know franchise mode is probably their most played mode out of it. So I'm very happy with the overall changes made to franchise mode. Of course, it's still quite a long way away from being the perfect mode, but I'm quite glad with the stuff that they've added, and it's quite impressive. So well done, EA. I'm quite pleased. I'm looking forward to NHL 18. And there you go! That was my reaction to the NHL 18 franchise mode trailer. What do you think about the trailer? Was it good, bad, or does it not matter because you never play franchise mode anyway? I don't know why you're watching this video, but fair enough. Let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear what you think. But thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you have enjoyed. Please feel free to like, subscribe, share, or watch some of my other videos. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye!